Down the road we go. Happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day, 27th day of March, 2019. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. How the heck are you? Great show for you today. Second half of the program, we check in once again. We'll be doing this on a regular basis for the next few weeks with Lisa Bradshaw, the host of Life with Lisa Bradshaw. Of course, she's doing her Don't Wait project, traveling all over these fine United States in her car, towing her trailer, finding stories, telling stories, incorporating stories. We visited with Lisa yesterday via Skype, and we'll have a chance to catch up with her coming up in the back half of the hour. Plus, we have all the usual shenanigans. Great crowd last night at Leib-Off to field of the Apple Bowl. Our cameras were there. The Wenatchee Panthers, Eastmont Wildcats, two of the best 4A boys soccer teams in the state, did battle last night, and we were there. And spoiler alert, one of those two teams won. We got highlights from a great soccer game when we get to sports in just a couple minutes. Obviously, we got news to get to. It was a busy news day yesterday around the old newsroom. Also, we have today in history, birthdays, the obscure holiday. Everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, and not a bad-looking weather forecast. Clouds going to be thickening up today. You see it's beautiful out there right now. 34 degrees, sun's already up, getting the job done. We're going to top off upper 50s anyway. And then we're going to have some rain. There's a weak system. It's not packing a great deal of punch, but it's going to cloud us up and give us a little bit of rain tonight, spilling into Thursday. Those details are coming up, but the weekend's looking really good. And here at the Broadcast Metroplex, we get these things from Rivercom. We get the report. We get two of them. One is from fire and ambulance. All the calls that they had to make within a 24-hour period. Basically, it's from like 4 in the morning to 4 in the morning, and they put them all together in a report, and they send them off to accredited media at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we use those as a news gathering tool. Hey, this is something maybe we should follow up on. But it's never good when you're on it, when you make the report. This is yesterday's incident summary report from local law enforcement, and I don't know if you can see the yellow highlighted part. That's me. Yeah. I got an accident yesterday early afternoon. Hit a UPS truck. Rod, the driver, was a really cool guy. He did UPS proud. And Jesse, which is Rod's supervisor, when you get into these kinds of things, they got to file their reports. And Jesse came out, and he was a nice guy. We had a couple of laughs. Nobody was hurt. When you hit a UPS truck, the odds are that your car is not going to win that one. And my car did not win that one. And then Officer Vasquez from the Wenatchee Police Department came out, filed the report. We did our insurance and licenses and all that stuff. He was a great guy. He was a super guy, very much a professional. So Rod was great, and Jesse was great, and Officer Vasquez was great. The only person who wasn't great in this whole thing was me, because you won't be able to see it because it's green, but got a ticket. $136. Now, there's video of this incident. I'm going to refer to it as an incident. It has made the rounds here at the Broadcast Metroplex. It is quite entertaining for my coworkers to see me do what I did. I'm not going to show you the video yet. I might eventually get to it. Not right now. I'm just gonna put it out. But I might buy a new car. I don't know. My car is drivable. It's not like it's totaled or anything. I can get it, take it off to the repair shop and get it repaired. I got a $1,000 deductible though on my insurance policy. So anyway, my name's on the law incident summary report, and here's my ticket from Officer Vasquez. I'm going to pay the $136. How was your Tuesday, by the way? It's 5 minutes after the hour. Let's go around the valley with our Valley View cameras. By the way, Janice is in control this morning. Thank you, Janice, and good morning, Wenatchee Valley. It's going to be a beautiful sunrise. It is a beautiful sunrise, but as I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, the clouds will be on the increase today, and then some light precipitation expected tonight, and then we dry out and have quite a pleasant weekend. Beautiful view from the Wenatchee Valley and the river. Even though it's spring and we got snowmelt and there's a lot of water being fed into it, is actually a little below normal. It's been able to take all the snowmelt that Mother Nature is giving us. So no really significant flooding, and it looks like we're not going to have any significant flooding. In fact, we're almost guaranteed the coldest March in recorded history is almost in our rearview mirror. That's going to be in our news, by the way, in a couple of minutes. So if you thought March was really cold, March was really cold. You went wrong. All right, Janice, where are we going with camera number 2? We're going to go see our friends at... Is that Blag? Is that Blag? Oh, that's Tumwater. Okay, wow, we haven't used that one for a while. Good work there. That's our Tumwater Canyon. That's still Leavenworth down there. We call that the Tumwater Canyon. It's located just before you enter the Tumwater Canyon on your way up to Winton, Coles Corner, Lake Wenatchee, downtown Coles Corner, and of course the greater Winton area. We are, by the way, the number 4 rated show in downtown Winton, but in suburban Winton, we're number 2. Pretty proud of that. Still a lot of snow up there in the Leavenworth area. Obviously, it's cooler there, and they get more snow and less sun, so that's to be expected. Where are we going for camera 3, Janice? We are going to go, I know this one. We haven't used it in a long time. Don't tell me. Nanapoc? Yay! I got it right. Nanapoc Ridge up in, I've mentioned Lake Wenatchee. Well, there you go. We're paying a visit up there to Lake Wenatchee. Those high voltage power lines are plainly visible to the right. That's a good view. That's a really good looking view. And obviously still a lot of snow there. They still got groomed snowmobile trails up in the Lake Wenatchee area. In fact, over the weekend, somebody decided to take their ATV on a groomed snowmobile trail and got stuck and had to get rescued. Not smart. Yeah, you can still snowmobile. We're not done with that yet. Camera 4 is a slow dissolve to that beautiful view of, I'm going to say, Union Valley. Am I correct, Janice? Woohoo! Wow, I went 4 for 4. Today's looking up. Could have been much worse than yesterday. Beautiful Lake Chelan. You can see the butte. Chelan proper, just out of your view, would be to your left. Good time to go up and visit the friends at Lake Chelan before the tourists come over. In fact, we'll talk about maybe spending a day or two up at Campbell's before this half-hour segment is over. So there you go. Those are our views around the Wenatchee Valley, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless network. And at 8 minutes after the hour, what's the weather looking like? Well, the forecast, anyway, looks like this from the National Weather Service. As I mentioned before, clouds are going to be an increase today. Get a little bit of rain, so we got lots of sunshine now. As the day progresses, the clouds will be here. By the end of the day, we're going to have clouds, and by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock tonight, we could get a little bit of rain. We are going to get some rain. The question is how much. Anywhere between 1/10 of a quarter of an inch of rain is possible. The rain will be from about 5 tonight till about 11 a.m. Thursday morning, with the heaviest rain expected between midnight and 4 a.m. So while you're sleeping, that's when the rain's going to come down at its heaviest, and that's for tonight. Rain tapers off by about noon tomorrow, and then gradually the sun will be coming out. It's going to take a little while, so it's going to be mostly cloudy on Thursday. Don't expect quite a bit of sunshine. As you can see, as the system comes in, it's going to be cooler. 54, our forecast high Thursday, and then the clouds really get out of here on Thursday night. Look at the weekend. Friday, lots of sunshine, 61. Saturday, lots of sunshine, 58. I'm going golfing Sunday. First time here in the Pacific Northwest I've had a chance to golf this year. Of course, I spent a couple weeks in the Arizona desert back in February and got quite a bit of golf in, but I'm off to the golf course on Sunday, and it's looking good with just a little bit of light rain possible late in the day. So outside of tonight into Thursday, we're looking for pretty good weather, at least if you like the sunshine. Oh, by the way, for the record, yesterday's high was 57, our normal high, 57. Yesterday's low, 37, our normal low, 37. It was a normal day. Weather-wise, traffic-wise, not so much. 10 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Hannah Peterson-Kinney, and I'm a certified nurse midwife. I became a midwife because I thought birth was one of the most amazing, beautiful things. It's about caring for women through many stages of life and helping to empower them with knowledge and build partners to improve their health. It would be an honor to provide care for you, and I would love to welcome you to the CVCH Midwife family.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
11 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. It's clear, it's chilly, it's 34 degrees outside of our studios. Clouds thicken up. We're going to have some rain overnight tonight, then the clouds depart on Thursday, and a very pleasant, sunny, nice weekend in store for all of us here in North Central Washington. Here's what's making headlines on this Wednesday. The man convicted in the 2016 execution-style killing of Jill Marie Sundberg of Quincy has been sentenced to life in prison. Gustavo Tapio Rodriguez, described by prosecutors as the leader of a drug gang that kidnapped Sundberg from an RV park near George, took her to a remote area along the Old Vantage Highway where she was shot numerous times. Prosecutors say the men thought Sundberg was a drug informant. Two other men earlier pleaded guilty in the murder and kidnapping. They testified against Rodriguez at his trial last month. Rodriguez also faces murder charges in the killing of a 21-year-old man just a couple of weeks before Sundberg's murder. Grand County Prosecutor Garth Dano told the Columbia Basin Herald the case represented a, quote, failure of our immigration system, unquote. All the men involved in Sundberg's murder were in the country illegally. Well, the Wenatchee Valley appears to be in a good position as far as the outlook for future business and future job growth. At least that was the take from a presentation held yesterday morning on the regional economy. The Chelan County Port District sponsored the breakfast program. It was held yesterday morning. Our very own senior news correspondent, Steve Hare, was there, and he filed this report.
Well, we estimate maybe 115 people here showed up at the convention center for the Chelan County Port District's breakfast. It is the topic, of course, is economic development and the different partners that work with the Port District in making that a going concern here in Chelan County. I'm joined right now here with the general manager of the Chelan County Port District, Jim Kuntz, and you got to be pleased with the turnout and very good presentation by Jim Mitchell, your economist today, your keynote speaker.
Yeah, it really was a great turnout, a good mix of elected officials and private businesses throughout the greater Chelan County area. So really a good turnout. And John Mitchell is a great economist, 25 years with U.S. Bank, and really understands the Pacific Northwest economy. And what an uplifting presentation. It appears that, all of the economic factors that he looks at for a strong economy are in place, not only for the Pacific Northwest, but for the greater Wenatchee Valley.
Absolutely. That bodes well for economic development here in the valley as well, doesn't it?
It does. I think that one of our biggest challenges is making sure that we have inventory available to plug in new businesses. One of the things that I have found coming back to my hometown is how tight the supply is of light manufacturing buildings and industrial buildings and land as well. And so one of my goals is to make sure we have inventory, Steve, so when we get that business lead, we can plug them into facilities cost effectively and use it as basically an incentive to choose Wenatchee over many other Eastern Washington communities they may be looking at.
Well, I was especially impressed by your presentation at the beginning of the program, talking about the strides forward that the port's making in terms of bringing new business to the valley with your Cashmere Mill District, the continuing development of the Pangbourne Airport. really is a rosy picture.
It is. Basically, paying more and passenger air service is outstanding. Over 64,000 boardings last year. That was up over 7% from 2017. We're working on trying to get a second airline to sign on to come to Wenatchee. So the airline stuff is really positive, strong outlook. And Kashmir, we're building two 16,500 square foot buildings as flex space, and we've already signed up 2 anchor tenants.
That's amazing. Are you surprised at how fast that's developing out there in Kashmir?
I am. Well, we thought it would be a multi-year process of getting buildings built and plugging in businesses, but to have 2 anchor tenants secured, sign on the dotted line before the buildings are even finished, because we're still waiting until a summer finishing, shows that Wenatchee and the whole valley is pretty strong economically.
Definitely. So what do you think that the people that attended today's breakfast should come away with in terms of a message from John Mitchell in his presentation?
I think John's message was we're going to continue to have economic growth, probably at a less rapid rate, maybe 2-3% a year, but the fundamental economy is strong. Employment is up, wage growth is up. Interest rates, surprisingly, have not only stabilized, they've gone down a little bit. We are still a relatively cost-effective housing market compared to some of our metros, in that there will be modest growth in the greater Wenatchee Valley for 2019.
And that's good for really Chelan and Douglas County, because I looked at the numbers and really we fare well in comparison with the rest of the state and the U.S.
We do. We are very fortunate, and we are a regional economy. We whatever is good for Douglas County is good for Chelan and vice versa. And I think from an economic development perspective, we want to locate businesses in both of these counties, and the economic benefits will spread.
Well, thank you very much, Jim Kuntz, General Manager of the Chelan County Port District. And, of course, the Partners in Economic Development breakfast here in the Wenatchee Convention Center attracted about 115 people today. And it was a good mix, I think, of private sector, electeds, and business people here that participated in this event. I'm Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Thank you very much, Steve, for that report. By the way, for more on yesterday's presentation, you can just log on to the Chelan County Port District's website. It's good stuff. The average temperature this month at Pangbourne Memorial Airport is on pace to set the all-time record for the coldest March in history. According to the National Weather Service, Wenatchee's average temperature between the day's high and the overnight low, 32.5 degrees. That's 10.5 degrees below normal. The coldest March on record was back in 1971. That was an average of 37.8 degrees. So temperatures from now until the end of the month, which is Sunday, will have to be 10 degrees above normal just to climb into second place. And guess what? That ain't gonna happen. Speaking of weather, if you're one of the many Washington motorists who have studded snow tires, well, you got 5 days to replace them. Motorists should, you got till March 31st to get your studs off the tire. It's as simple as that, or you'll get a fine from law enforcement. Now, keep in mind, March 31st is a Sunday, so it's not going to be real easy to find a tire store that's going to do that for you on a Sunday. Abrasion from studded tires, they wear down the pavement at a much greater rate than regular traffic. The most visible studded tire damage, of course, is the rutting that you see on the interstates that have high speeds and high traffic volumes. The tires also damage state, county, and city roadways that have high traffic. The Washington State Department of Transportation says each year, studded tires cost around $24.5 million in damage to roads and highways. And we're still talking about driving, so we're going to continue to look behind the scenes at the NCW Life Channel magazine, featuring a local project aimed at raising awareness of the dangers of distracted driving. Kashmir senior Emma Brunner began her collaboration with key community partners, including the Wenatchee Police Department, Apple Valley Honda, Digital Media Northwest, to produce 3 local PSAs. They're going to run in the local theaters this summer. Take a look.
I actually think this topic is bigger than community. I think it's going to serve in our community, but I think it's actually it's a global problem. Everybody here at Apple Valley Honda is a parent, so it hits close to home for us, just simply because anytime our kids get behind the wheel of a car, we want their phone out of there. Any text message, any type of social media, it can wait. So a project like this it affects our kids. So we loved the idea right from the get-go.
Emma began her work with Dominic Bonney of Digital Media Northwest to produce 3 PSAs that will run locally in place of Apple Valley Honda's regular ad spots at the movie theater.
This being kind of an inherently unsafe situation, we wanted to make sure that we were filming the distracted driving stuff off the roads and not actually putting anybody in danger, because we did have children as a part of this, and Emma's young as well. So what we did was we used the airport here in Kashmir and used the taxiway to get all the shots of her doing the things she shouldn't be doing behind the wheel. And then we also had support from Chelan County Sheriff, I believe.
Dominic Much.
Yes, Officer Much, who is the Kashmir
Resource officer.
Took some time on his day off and came and pulled Emma over on close over by her house, and we went through the script of her basically being pulled over. She says, "Oh, I never do that," and then we filmed all the montage of her doing all the bad things here at the airport, and so we'll cut those together so that it looks like she's being admonished for something that she didn't do, which she actually does, and then the last shot is him giving her a ticket.
Emma says pretending to be a distracted driver for the videos, whether it was on her phone or applying makeup, was a difficult task.
Like, I had all these questions going through my mind, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, this sucks. And luckily, it wasn't just the phone that I had to hold. It was like eating and putting on makeup, which also is like pretty scary because, like, I don't know, it kind of sucks putting on makeup in a car. I don't know why you would do that to begin with, but I don't know. It's just like, it was a little difficult, but the impact that it is going to make, because I know it will, it was definitely worth it to probably look really dumb doing it. So it was definitely worth it.
As far as the themes in each PSA, Emma and Dominic say viewers can expect a little drama.
Dear Mom and Dad one is basically like this girl from beyond the grave is writing her parents an apology letter, and so we never see her die, but it's implied, like you said. And for that one, I'm a big cinema guy, so immediately in my mind I thought like Tarantino, and I thought we need to be lowering a casket into a grave with her parents standing over it, weeping and show that emotional impact. And so we actually used a GoPro and an apple bin because we couldn't dig a grave because it's too cold. So we cut a hole in an apple bin, shoved the GoPro down there, and had her parents stand on the step stool, and it looks just like, we'll see, but it looks pretty much like a grave.
For Emma and Dominic, the challenging work in making these PSAs impactful is well worth it in the end if they can make community members think twice about their behaviors behind the wheel.
Just knowing that I tried to save a life or tried to make an impact, that's enough.
Yeah. Well, and when she told her dad the idea for the Dear Mom and Dad one, she said it made him tear up, and he was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to think about burying my daughter.
Yeah.
But it's like that, think about how that's going to impact other people.
For Chief Crown, he feels the locally produced PSAs could have more of an impact than a national campaign.
I think that most people, when they see a pretty vanilla ad that's out there on YouTube, they may or may not pick up on it. But when you're a local person seeing local landmarks and people putting the energy behind it, I think that'll have a better impact. I think that's exactly where she wanted to land with this project.
Good stuff. And by the way, that magazine is currently airing all this week, and you can watch it on demand on our website at ncwlife.com. One more item of business to get to. I want to show you some photos from last night's fundraiser at Blue Spoon Yogurt in East Wenatchee. Thank you very much, Brenda Mandalis, who was there, our very own Brenda Mandalis. This was a fundraiser for Rayanna Rosenberg. She's that young child who fell into that Rock Island pond, and she's hospitalized. Look, there's one of Douglas County's finest helping out with the cause. Good crowd showed up, by the way. About 40% of all the sales, by the way, in tips from this fundraiser at Blue Spoon Yogurt is donated to the family. So thank you, Brenda, for providing the photos, and thank you, everybody, for participating in that very important fundraiser. Wow, we're already 25 minutes down with 35 minutes to go. We still got sports and all the other stuff to get to. including my conversation with Lisa Bradshaw. She's in Austin, Texas, or was yesterday when we talked to her. But before we take a break, I got to remind you about the news with Grant Olson at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant in the anchor chair. Eric Grenstrom handles sports. What happened on this Wednesday, we'll let you know. We like to keep you in the loop, and that's our job. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock right here on the NCW Life channel, also available on demand on our website just about 5 o'clock in the evening. We post a link on our Facebook page, and don't forget to get a hold of us if there's something out there that you think demands our attention. The tools that are available to you are right there at the bottom of your screen. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports, including highlights from a very entertaining Wenatchee Eastmont soccer game. That's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
We're back 27 minutes after the hour. I'm Dan Kuntz. Sports, Eastmont and Wenatchee played a great game last night at Lee-Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. And as you see, in the end, it was the Panthers who came out on top 2-0. 2 goals by Jose Camarillo. That guy was really good last night. We were there. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Weiser with the call on the NCW Life channel.
The craziest thing when people recognize you as the soccer guy on TV. Ain't that wild?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
This is a good opportunity. Right-footed shot and saved by Gregerson. All that time, Camarillo. Gregerson slided out of position. The shot across. Viene. Goal.
Offside. No goal. No goal. Offside.
Oh my goodness. None of that will count. It's offsides. Right-footed shot. Gregerson. A bit of hesitation.
Ooh.
My goodness gracious, Gregerson just hesitated for a split second and it almost cost him dearly. There's the throw-in. Gregerson wants another hesitation. The touch. Good move for Balauro. Balauro looking for it on the left side. Eastmont leaves one behind. The shot! Oh my goodness! Oh, I don't believe it. That was close. Fuente. Oh, mistake. This could be dangerous.
Offside again.
The flag is up.
Man.
Flag is up.
Killing themselves here.
Vasquez, right-footed shot. Vasquez! Oh my goodness.
Heck of a save. Great shot.
Oh my goodness. We're still in action. Now it goes out of bounds. Some front page worthy stuff by the goalkeeper of Wenatchee, Logan Nelson. It's a one-on-one situation. Cabrera. Going in a personal maneuver. Cabrera enters the box. Cabrera still has the ball. Left-footed shot. No, he's not going to pull the trigger. He takes a little too long. Mendoza still battling. Deep ball. Camarillo with some room. Trying to get into the box. Camarillo, the shot and the stop by Jeremy Gregerson. Camarillo. The run-up. The shot. Camarillo. Goal. Wenatchee takes the lead. Jose Camarillo at the edge of halftime. Matt Weiser.
Great finish there. Solid, very well composed. Good attempt by the keeper. It was clean.
He guessed right.
He guessed right. Just very difficult to save a well-placed penalty kick.
Taken back by Wenatchee.
Good-looking ball there.
Good ball that time. Left-footed shot. Right-footed shot, I beg your pardon.
Oh, great save.
And a beautiful save by Jeremy Gregerson. Counter in the making, indeed, yes. Lopez Off to the races is Camarillo into the box. Camarillo shot across. Who's going to sink it in? Oh, my goodness. Camarillo. Go. Jose Camarillo makes it 2-0 Wenatchee. Right-footed shot, and it sails over the crossbar. Good effort. Nelson. And there's the whistle that indicates that this game is over and Wenatchee has defeated its arch rival from across the bridge, Eastmont, by a score of 2-0.
Very exciting soccer match. Good crowd, passionate crowd. And by the way, as you also see, Chelan edged Omak, the final 4-3. To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. Prep baseball. Wenatchee traveled down to West Valley, picked up a 9-4 win over the Rams. Eastmont, close one over Moses Lake, 7-5. Quincy caught Kashmir, 5-3. Chelan blanked Okanagan. And Waterville Mansfield still looking to score their first run of the year. They lost to Manson 9-0. One softball score to pass along, that's it. And that is not a misprint, which you're about ready to see. Chelan beat Okanagan in softball 28-6. Ouch. Les Schwab tennis scoreboard. Let's jump to that. Wenatchee, there's the scoreboard from softball. Let's do tennis. Wenatchee boys and girls swept Davis. No problems there. 7-0 on both sides. Eisenhower swept Eastmont in tennis on the boys' side. 7-0. Omak and Chelan split. The Pioneer boys came out on top 4-1. The Lady Goats won 4-1 as well. You still get to see that fast pitch softball score for whatever reason. We are ready to go for playoff hockey. By the way, there's your prep tennis scoreboard. The dates and times have all been set now for the Doyle Cup semifinals against the Vernon Vipers. It begins the first two games, of course, as you know by now, at the Town Toyota Center. This weekend, games 3 and 4 will be at the Cal Tire Place in Vernon on Tuesday and Wednesday, although you still get to look at the 10. There you go. If necessary, Game 5 back in Wenatchee. Game 6, if necessary, back in Vernon. Game 7, if necessary. Blah, blah, blah. You know by now. By the way, Arch Eckert, the voice of the Wild, will be my guest on this show tomorrow. Mariners shut out again by San Diego in the final exhibition game of the season at T-Mobile Park. Wade LeBlanc pitched 5 1/3 solid innings. He allowed no runs, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. The Mariners day off today. Then they reopen the regular season, if you will, tomorrow afternoon. 4:10, Chris Sale, Marco Gonzalez, future Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez throwing out the first pitch. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday, the obscure holiday of the day today for this 27th day of March. Hello, my name is Joe. Hello, Joe. What do you know? Today's National Joe Day. Change your name for the day, just to Joe. Joe's a great name. If your name's already Joe, you don't have to change it. They have Joe days. They don't have Bob days or Mike days or days like that. There's a lot of famous Joes. Joe DiMaggio, Joe Namath, Joe Biden, Joe Torre, Joe Lewis, Joe Cool, Sloppy Joe. Hello, my name is Joe. So if your name is Joe, today is your day. I could use a cup of Joe. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. 33 minutes after the hour, for good reason, 33 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 394 years ago today, that is Charles I became the King of England. On this date, back in 1625, he was the King of England, King of Scotland, King of Ireland, claimed the title of King of France. The French weren't consulted on that. He reigned for about 25 years, got in trouble with the wrong kind of people, and they executed him. They'd like to do that a lot back in those days, cut off their heads. After Charles I was executed, the British missed a perfect opportunity. They decided to just abolish the monarchy. They said, this is stupid. Why would anybody rise to power by no other virtue other than you were born into this family? That's why you get to be king or queen. I thought, this is stupid. Let's just get rid of the monarchy. So they did. Believe it or not, they did after they executed Charles I, and then they changed their mind. Boy, they blew that one, didn't they? Charles I became king 394 years ago. 104 years ago, Mary Mallon, better known as Typhoid Mary, the first healthy carrier of typhoid, was quarantined. She would remain in quarantine until she died 30 years later. She was asymptomatic, which means she carried typhoid, but she didn't have typhoid. The problem was she was a cook. And if you carry typhoid and you're a cook, you got major problems. They didn't know what to do, so they forcibly stuck her in quarantine, and that's where Typhoid Mary lived out the rest of her life, 30 years in quarantine. And she went into that 104 years ago today. Two significant disasters happened on this date. the Great Alaska Earthquake. It was Good Friday, March 27, 1964, the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in North American history. A 9.2 magnitude. Killed 125 people. It killed people in California. The tsunami did. It was huge. The Great Alaskan Earthquake shifted the earth in a major way 55 years ago today on this date. And 42 years ago today, March 27, 1977, in Tenerife, on the Canary Islands, just outside the coast of Spain, two Boeing 747 airliners collided on the runway. 583 people died, all 248 on the plane that was trying to take off. An additional, the rest, 335 died of the Pan Am plane that was struck. 61 people survived the Pan Am flight. The KLM, the Dutch airliner, thought he had clearance. He didn't. Decided to start taking off without getting authorization to take off, and the Pan Am was still on the taxiway. Ironically enough, the deadliest aviation accident in the history of this planet did not take place in the air. It took place on the ground. So it happened in 1977. Birthdays. Quentin Tarantino celebrates a birthday today. Best director working right now, I think. Of course, he's also a screenwriter and a producer, dabbles in acting every once in a while. Reservoir Dogs just blew me away. Pulp Fiction, the Kill Bill series, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained. He's got a brand new movie coming out later on this year called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's talented. He's good. And he's 56 years old. Speaking of talent, Mariah Carey. Man, she can sing. She's 49. She's been accused of over-singing. She has a 5-octave range. She does oversing on occasionally. You know, she needs to tone it down just a little bit. She hasn't really been doing much lately, but she celebrates her birthday today. She's 49. And speaking of singers, Fergie not only sings, but she dances and she acts. First emerged on the American stage as a member of the Black Eyed Peas. Fergie is 44 years old today. All right, jam-packed program. We're going to take a break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, plus my conversation with Lisa Bradshaw. But first, I want to talk about our friends at Campbell's at Lake Chelan. Still in the Campbell family. 118 years. They opened in 1901. Would have been so much easier just to sell out to bigger corporate interests, but nope, they don't do that. And you want to go up to Campbell's. They have a locals rate. It's $95. It starts at $95. $95 for that kind of luxury, for that kind of pampering at Campbell's Resort, that kind of setting at Campbell's Resort is for locals only. All right, locals only. Give Campbell's a call. Go up and check it out. Spend a weekend or a couple of weekdays up in Chelan. Get away from it all. Campbell's, the locals rate. Get a hold of Campbell's. I'll tell you all about it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. The topic today, changing the world. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at acchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today. Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome to Boswell's Home Furnishings. Come in and explore their expansive 2-story showroom at your leisure. You'll find comfort and inspiration for every room in your home. Boswell's has been filling customer furniture needs for decades, from contemporary to the classics, for living room, dining room, and bedroom sets. Purchase in-store or create your own unique style. With Boswell's complimentary design service, your vision is their passion. Where would you like to start?
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Hey, do you want to know something great? And you want to make a real difference in the world? When you shuffle off this mortal coil, do you want to have made a difference that you were even alive, even here at all? Now, let me give you a tip I'm passing along from Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa said this: if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. She's right, you know. There's nothing more important a person can do than be a good husband, a good wife, or a good mother or father. I used to think that it didn't matter if I cured cancer or ended world hunger. If I hadn't been a good husband and dad, I'd be a failure. I still believe that. Well, I'm working on it, and I hope you are too. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
RLS Productions is proud to bring to the NCW Life Channel the Concerts in the Garden Summer Series held at Omi Gardens. The series features performances from Rare Earth's Peter Rivera, Heart by Heart, Two Slim and the Tail Draggers, The Infinity Project, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, and a whole host of other great acts. Tune in Wednesdays at 1:30 and 7 p.m. and Fridays and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. RLS Productions Concerts in the Garden Summer Series, only on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Clayton Walker, General Manager at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Wenatchee, and I'd like to invite everyone to the dealership to see how easy it is to buy your next new or pre-owned vehicle at your local dealership.
And I'm Mick Fabian, General Sales Manager, and we currently have a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot to choose from, including the 2019 Motor Trend Truck and SUV of the Year.
So come on down to town and let us earn your business in 2019 at 1001 North Miller Street in Wenatchee.
Life is unpredictable, and risks are part of business. But what is important is how well prepared we are to handle the unpredictability and take the risks. We provide trusted choices for insurance, health insurance and Medicare, life, disability, and long-term care, homeowners and renters, contractors, general liability, equipment and bond, farm, crop and stock, and business insurance.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood.
It's great. Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate. They understand what home is all about.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. She is on the road. It is week number, well, kind of three, kind of week number 2. The first week doesn't count. She was on vacation. I'm talking about Lisa Bradshaw, the host of Life with Lisa. She is on the road, the Don't Wait Project. First question, of course, Lisa. Last week you were in southern Texas. Where are you now?
Well, I'm in Austin now. Last week I was in Houston,
And so Austin technically kicks off our tour, and we did our first story yesterday. And then we're packing up actually right now as soon as we finish and heading to Dallas for 2 days.
I love Austin. You are so lucky. It's one of my absolute favorite towns in America. Austin's got everything.
Well, it's a beautiful day today, too. It's not nearly as humid as it's been. So, but yeah, my sister-in-law lives here, and so we come here every year. And yep, you're right. We missed South by Southwest just by a couple of days, which might be good given the traffic, but we did miss some good music.
So you're working on your first story, or you've already filmed your first story, and now you're heading to Dallas. Is that correct?
Right. We filmed it yesterday.
And I know we talked about this last week, but give folks a synopsis of that conversation from yesterday.
So it's a woman who was kidnapped by her father as a child when she was 7 years old, and she was abused by him for the 3.5 years she was with him, and her mom never gave up. And I don't want to give too much of it away, but our interview consisted a lot of the choice she made to forgive her dad and move forward. And she's written a book about it. And she also did a speech at South by Southwest a couple of years ago. So she's rebuilt her life completely.
It's an inspiring story, and I can't wait to see it. I wish we didn't have to wait this long, but for those of you who don't know, unlike last year when Lisa was filing reports with basically completed stories ready to go and ready to air, she's not going to do that this year. We wanted a higher quality product. Not that last year's weren't fantastic, they were great, but this allows you, working with a professional cinematographer, to put together the stories when you get back so we can have a much more complete picture instead of cutting and pasting all over the place, right?
Well, I mean, it was more about having some freedom to enjoy the trip and experience the people and take opportunities to meet people where I couldn't do that if I was in my trailer editing 14 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours a week. And so, but most definitely, I think since I'm not a professional cinematographer, as the weeks went on before, I got better and better, and I was able to shoot more B-roll and have that for the shows as the weeks went on. But this is completely different. So Caleb is here, around here somewhere. Caleb, you want to say hi?
Say hi, Caleb.
He was downtown. He was in downtown Austin last night, hanging out, and got some drone footage and things that I, couldn't have done. There's Caleb. Hey there. So yeah.
We can see. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a whole different thing. He's got. Last year I did. I'll send it to you. Maybe you can put it with this interview. But last year I took a funny picture of myself with just a one-person crew with a tiny little tripod on a park bench, and then I took a picture of Mike Rowe from Returning the Favors crew, which is like 10 times more than what I had. But what's cool is we compared the pictures, and Caleb has all the gear. He's just a one-man production guy, and he's doing a great job. So I'm super thrilled.
We can see in the background, we can see the car and the trailer. Probably not this episode, but maybe next week you can give us a little tour of your
Sure.
living arrangements. I don't want to spring that on you now because I just thought of it. But while I'm thinking about it, are you just like last year? Or as you cruise down the highway, are you turning heads with your trailer and your rig?
Yes, and it's funny because we put the vinyl on the outside of the trailer while we were here, and people were stopping and looking and wondering what that's all about. And so, yeah, it's a really good tool to create a spectacle and draw attention, and it's for that reason that we picked up some of the stories last time along the way, because people were attracted to the car.
And certainly that's going to happen. We are certain this time around. You have an itinerary. You know the stories you're going to tell and the people you're going to interview. But there's always a surprise or two, isn't there?
There is, and that's what we count on. I have 1, 2, and sometimes 3 stories booked in each state, and then the rest we rely on, people who we encounter along the way. So campgrounds, we're doing one of the stories from a brewery in Baton Rouge where we're parking there for a couple of days. They do live music, and there's always interesting people there, and so we're relying on finding a story there. And then I just booked a really incredible story. I'm so excited about it, in Jackson, Mississippi. I'll tell you more about that because it's a couple weeks out, but just even more stories are still coming through, but we're solid at least 1 to 2 stories in each state.
When people ask you about who are you and what are you doing with this incredibly colorful car and trailer, do you have a stock answer for them, Lisa, or do you adjust your answer hoping you can draw those people into your program and into your project, your Don't Wait project, to get more stories?
It's a 30-second elevator pitch I've been saying for so long. I wouldn't know how to modify it. I don't know that I need to. So, yeah, I just tell them about the Don't Wait project, why I started it, and why I'm out here. And, a lot of it, I meet a lot of people who are also empty nesters. And much of why I decided to hit the road is because my son went to college 2 years ago. And I knew I was going to do so well at home without him there. And I needed a plan B for myself. So I thought this was a good way to focus on other people's stories and lend ours still, but start focusing on stories of other people. And it was the right move, and it's turned out pretty well.
So you're in Austin, the capital of Texas, again, one of my favorite cities. You're on your way to Dallas. Give us the itinerary between now and when we talk next week. Where are you going?
So Dallas, Baton Rouge, Jackson, Mississippi, and then West Point, Mississippi, and then Birmingham, Alabama, and then Atlanta, and on and on and on. So yeah, those are the stops in the immediate future.
Is there anything about the Wenatchee Valley, the Pacific Northwest, that you miss already? You've only been on the road for about 3 weeks, but there must be something or somebody you're thinking about quite a bit as you're on the road.
Oh, my kid, my kid. I miss my kid. I heard the snow melted, so I missed that because I don't get to see spring by being on the road last spring and this spring and next spring. But when I come back in May, it's pretty beautiful. And I'm just grateful to our community for supporting what Town Toyota has put together for us to travel and do this. And, we ended up having air conditioning problems with the camper only because it wasn't level, so we needed more blocks. And I know that I have the freedom to go get what I need, and Town Toyota has it covered. And that's a really good feeling, because things come up out here camping, like the generators we had to buy because we're dry camping and you can't go without air conditioning, and the campers run all on electric except the air conditioning. So there's just a lot of different things that we, I have needed along the way and I don't have to worry about. And the campers are fantastic. I feel like I'm in a mansion. I'll show it to you next week. But
yeah, let's plan on that. I want a tour next week.
Yeah, getting to maneuver it, and I decorate it how I want it, and it feels like home inside. And to get to stand up and walk around and sit at a table and do the dishes and cook and all that stuff inside it's nice.
Lisa, I'm going to ask you one more question. Then I'm going to cut you loose, okay? When people ask, they're talking to you, they see the trailer and the car, and you give them your 30-second elevator pitch. When they ask them about where are you from? I'm from the Wenatchee Valley, is what you're telling them, I'm assuming. Do they know of the Wenatchee Valley? Do they ask about the valley? What that kind of deal?
Some do, some don't. He's cranking that thing to get the levels out. Yes, they do. They ask. Some people don't know, and I always say it's directly between Seattle and Spokane. That I drove into town in 2004, and I felt like the sky parted, and I was supposed to move there, and it's beautiful. We have the river, and I tell them we have, skiing 30 minutes from our house, and we can buy a pizza and a bottle of wine and take the river in the evening. I mean, so I talk it up because I just love our home and I love all that it offers. And there's not many places you can go where you have all of that in one place, and the community that we have, and the nonprofits and the businesses. And I just tell people it's a place where you can achieve anything you want.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Lisa, safe travels. Enjoy
Aren't you
yourself.
going to ask what I have on my Pandora?
Oh yeah. Your road trip music. I'm sorry. What do you got?
Bradley Cooper radio still.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Bob Seger too, but still liking that Bradley Cooper radio.
Yeah.
I better change it up. I'll have something new to report next time.
Well, as it turns out, last week I told people I looked a lot like Bradley Cooper. I actually look more like Bob Seger. We'll just say that.
Well, you just look like everybody, a little bit like everybody.
Lisa, safe travels, okay? And I can't wait to talk to you next week.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, well, say hi to everybody back home.
Take care.
Bye.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCW Life, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Health Alliance Northwest. Book Buzz is this Saturday from 10 to 12 at Pybus Public Market. Come meet and visit with local authors. Also Saturday, Billy McLaughlin is putting on a concert at the Snowy Owl Theater at 7 p.m. Come hear his unthinkable story while listening to complex and rhythmic music. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support. And we're back here live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. I'm Dan Kuntz on this Wednesday edition. Wake up Wenatchee Valley. Got about 3 minutes left, so we'll do what we always do. Let's take one more look at your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. We'd always like to say from the National Weather Service. That way, if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. The clouds are already starting to thicken up. You can see the high clouds on our PTZ camera from the Wenatchee Heights, and that's what we're going to be dealing with for most of the day today. Increasing clouds. Ahead of a little bit of rain. There's a weak system out there. It's not packing a great deal of punch. That sounds good. Nice little glass of punch. Anyway, so the clouds will be thickening up today. By 5, 6 o'clock tonight, could get a light raindrop or two, but we do have rain in the forecast tonight. Now, the rain could come down anytime between 5 or 6 o'clock tonight till about 11 o'clock Thursday morning. The heaviest rain is going to be between, say, midnight to about 4 a.m. So while you're sleeping tonight into Thursday morning, that's when the rain's going to come down, and that's fine with me. That's cool. It's going to help with the snow melt. No real flooding issues out there. So anywhere between a tenth of a quarter of an inch of rain, and again, tonight into Thursday morning. Rain should be gone, Johnson, done by Thursday, about noonish or so. But you can see we're going to cool down a little bit. I have 54, which is below normal. So we'll be done with the rain by Thursday to late afternoon into the early evening hours. The clouds will be departing. We'll have partly cloudy skies Thursday night. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday looking good. Sunshine 61. That's just about normal. Sunshine Saturday and 58. Sunday, the golf course beckons, and I will be there whacking that golf ball and three-putting all over the dang place. Looking forward to that. Good to be out to play golf. And then another system, scattered showers, will return early next week. So that's your forecast from the National Weather Service. By the way, I haven't mentioned the passes at all today. They're fine. Maybe a little bit of light snow again for this overnight rain here in the Valley Floor. Mountain passes could get a little bit of light snow right now. No advisories, no restrictions. Don't forget, you got to have your studded tires off by April 1st. And of course, April 1st is a Monday. So you got to have them off by Sunday. And to find somebody to take off your studded snow tires and put on your regular tires on the Sunday is not going to be very easy. And they will find you, and they will find you, and then they will find you. So get those studded tires off. You have until the end of the week to get that done. My guest tomorrow, the voice of the Wenatchee Wild, Arch Ecker. It's off to the the Page Cup semifinals against the Vernon Vipers. We'll preview that with my good friend Arch Ecker. That's on tomorrow's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Have a good and safe Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.